Right, it's the Northern Boy Show. Hello.
1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 2.
Okay, let's do it.
Go for gold.
All right. Okay, PKJ. Hey, that rhymes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, PKJ.
Well, there you go.
What are we doing?
You practiced it.
Well, I had a call from a friend a week or two ago saying he'd finished this. He'd finished the video we did, where he was taking the piss out of a guy called Derek Akora, a ghost hunter.
Oh, yeah.
and he was taking him off, impersonating him. But we went round Sutton, various places that were supposedly haunted, including an off-licence or two, which, considering my mate's a quasi-alky...
Yeah, very convenient that they were off licences,
Yes,
wasn't it? Was it several pubs as well that were haunted?
Well, there's another story. There was a couple of escapades where I was a bit kind of nervous, if not terrified. And one, underneath the big church in the centre of Sutton, there's like a little catacomb type of thing. And my mate knew how to get into it, even though it was supposedly locked and barred away from the public. He knew how to get in. So I said, "You okay with this?" I went, "If you are, me too." Anyway, we found our way into this catacomb. Like, it was absolutely pitch black. Absolutely totally pitch black. You couldn't see. Luckily, he got a little torch, so he didn't fall over the debris in there, which was mostly hypodermics and Stella ultra strong lager cans.
What's a catacomb?
Empty. What's a catacomb?
I know, it's like there's all these cellars and there's dungeons.
The catacombs were escape tunnels and places where the Christians hid in Rome. They built these tunnels under Rome and lived in them virtually to escape the persecution. So there are catacombs in this country because of the persecution.
So Rome and Sutton Coldfield.
Well, it's not just Sutton Coldfield. It's all over the UK. All over the UK. Well, I'm convinced there was a catacomb under my mum's house in Macclesfield. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But this Derek Akora piss take was so funny. Honestly, I'd never seen Derek Akora. And when I did eventually see him, I couldn't believe how close my mate got to doing the piss
Isn't
take.
it called something like Ghost Hunter or something like that? He does something like that. Yeah, some bollocks, yeah.
Anyway, so what you said about pubs is funny because he said, now then, the 3 Tons is a 16th century pub or whatever. Excuse me. He said, and I'm fairly sure there's a catacomb under there. Shall we go and see if we can see? Well, I'm good mates with the landlord there. So we turn up, order a couple of beers, naturally. And I says to the landlord, I says, "Here, Jack," I said, me and my mate are shooting a film about ghosts and paranormal. Any chance we could have a look in your cellar to see how, if there's any catacomb type feel about it? He went, "Yeah, sure, carry on." So we went down there.
Hey, you should take me, 'cause that's where we've been to 3 Tons, haven't we?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Well,
take us down.
Yeah. Well, we possibly can do that.
We could, yeah.
When the time is right. Anyway, so we go down these steps into the cellar, past all the beer stuff and all the paraphernalia, and there's a little kind of passage leading who knows where. So we had to wander down. We had a torch because it got dark by then. And there's a door, like a huge, great wooden bloody 15th century door or whatever, 16th century door. Of course, couldn't open it. Said to the gaffer, says, "Here, have you ever opened that door?" He says, "Not likely," he said.
Really? He's got a door in his cellar that he
doesn't know where it goes. He said, "No, I've no idea." But my feeling is that door leads to a tunnel that links up to the church, to the catacomb that we were in earlier, because it's only about 100 yards away.
Well, that's just so the priest could get to the pub without being seen, isn't it?
Well, at least, it's one way of escaping.
Have a crafty one, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was, I don't know whether it's because the atmosphere is cold and whatever, but it certainly makes your prickles, your neck hairs prickle when you're down there. So it's a bit scary, really.
Yeah, apparently I spoke to a ghost.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was a kid. I might have told you this.
Bloody hell.
Oh, I don't remember
No,
you
no,
telling
tell
us
us
that.
again. I can't
Shall I
remember.
tell you? Yeah,
you
right.
do that, mate, yeah.
Yeah, my old man, he said that he could hear me chatting at night as a kid.
Yeah.
He could hear me chatting when I was in my bedroom. And, but I was responding. I wasn't just rambling to myself. I was actually responding, answering questions and stuff like that.
From the ghost.
Hey, don't, hey, it's my story.
Oh,
Catches
sorry.
up- he catches
Jeez,
on
yeah,
fast,
it's quick, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Seeing as our subject is ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah, and what it was, I remember, it was sat at the end of my bed, and it was like an outline of this green figure. Right? It was this green figure. It was sat at the end of it. That's all I remember as
You
a
weren't
kid.
frightened?
No,
I'm fucking terrified.
it was just that. But it wasn't like full. It was just a green figure. It got a hat and everything. And the thing is, and this is the important bit, right? This is where you pay attention. Had a pipe. Right? And I remember chatting away to it. Anyway, we moved out of that council place and we moved somewhere else. But the woman that moved into the council house knew us, right? And she bumped into us in the town. And one day she said, did anybody in your house smoke a pipe? Right? And no one smokes in the house. So well, every night we can smell pipe smoke in the place.
Fucking hell.
And then she told her that story
Yeah.
about me chatting to this guy. And it turns out that in the council house we lived in was the site of an old farmhouse. Ooh. Ghosts.
In the farm.
In the farmer, yeah. It was the old farmer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good story. What about you, Kev? You're a Christian. Do you believe in ghosts?
Absolutely not.
Oh, God. That's the end of that conversation then. Okay.
Yes, it's ideal, isn't it, for the fucking subjects of
He is,
ghost stories,
well,
isn't it?
well, you have a little sleep and perhaps we can talk
Now,
about
you might
more
not
ghosts.
believe
sure
it.
you will.
You might not believe in them, but do you have any stories about them?
About ghosts. Well, the odd one comes for a pint with you now and again. That's kept you quiet, hasn't it?
It
lads?
has a bit, yes, yes.
You kind of finished on a precipice. Well, there's this ghost that comes for me with a pint now and again.
Does he ever come when I'm there?
Eh?
Does he ever come when I'm there?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Oh,
Does he ever
will
get the
you-
beers in?
Will you let me know next time?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
introduce
fine.
you to him.
Does he get around in? Does he do?
Because
I bet he drinks spirits.
No, but
Hey, come on!
I'll tell you
come
what,
on.
though, he
That's
buys
for
me,
you at home, all right?
he buys me tons of beer.
Yeah, brilliant. About
Even the
tons
engineer's
beer.
laughing now. Come on, show your face, show your giggle. Come on, show your giggle,
Here he is.
show your giggle. Come on,
That's
show
it.
your face.
He's trying not to.
So,
He won't do it, will he?
so
Look at him. He's shy.
I'll tell you a couple of ghost stories that are real.
Real
okay?
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, real ghost stories.
Well, listen. My mother was always convinced that she and my grandma had some sort of a gift. All right, some sort of a gift. kind of paranormal gift, if you like. But she never called on it because it was too frightening. She says, I've done it a couple of times when I'm younger. She said, it's so scary, I've stopped doing it. So I said, oh, okay, fine, leave it at that. But she swears blind that we had a ghost in the house that I lived in when I was about 16, 17, 18. Now, she knew I was a bit susceptible to those kind of things, so she didn't really push it. But they nicknamed this ghost Henry. All right,
yeah.
I don't know why. It was a friendly ghost.
Surname wasn't Ford, was it?
No,
Oh, never mind.
no, we don't know. We're thinking
Okay,
about.
okay,
We're
okay.
thinking it might have been a king or a prince, maybe possibly, because the house was only about 2 doors away from the local church, which was built way back in the whatever century, and I'm fairly convinced that underneath that house there was a catacomb. The reason is this: one day my dad said, "Here, pop down the cellar and bring me a so-and-so," because he used the cellar as a kind of a workshop, because he was a bit of a carpenter bit of a part-time amateur carpenter, bloody good. He said, pop down and grab me my screwdriver. Yeah, okay, fine. So I went down there, and I couldn't find it straight away, so I'm scouting around a bit. And he got some things hanging on a wall, on a frame. And I went over there, and there was a screwdriver. While I was there, I noticed that the brickwork where I was doing this was completely different to all the other brickwork. The other brick was all, like, old. And this was, well, it was proper red bricks, you know, like house bricks. Whereas the other things were all stones, if you like, granite or whatever. So I'm thinking, that's a bit odd. Anyway, there was a bloody hole. There was a hole about that big in the mortar between two bricks. And I thought, obviously, I tried to look through, pitch black, couldn't fit. So I licked my finger and held it. There was a fucking draft. There was a draft coming through this hole. Now, this doorway, which is obviously what it was and was bricked up, I'm thinking, well, hang on. The road is over there because we had, the old coal hole in the pavement. You know, in the old houses, there was a hole in the pavement with a grid, and the coalman would come, lift the grid up and tip the coal down into the cellar. Yeah. And you had to go down the cellar and bring it up. Well, we had a coal hole. We didn't use it, but it was there. But the road was there, okay? So here was the house. So if you could get that way, you'd end up under the kitchen. And then under the backyard. And then into the graveyard of the church next door. Mm-hmm. But my old man wouldn't take any bricks out for us to find out. Well, we didn't own the house. The house belonged to the church, and we were renting it. We were renting it from the church. So he wouldn't let us in there. But my mum swears that this ghost emanates from some kind of to-do when a priest was on the run from the persecutors, used the hidey hole and got caught. You know. But it was quite benevolent, this ghost. He just used to play tricks. He'd move stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, my mother tested it once. She put her purse down somewhere, and she thought, right, I remember where that is now. Okay. Next morning, got up, wasn't there. So she has a look round. All it is it's in the kitchen on the side instead. So she and this thing about moving things happened a few times apparently. I'm just glad that when I found out I wasn't in there anymore because kind of terrifying.
The one story of speaking of pubs, let me say the three.
Shall I at the bin?
Yeah.
Hang on, that's the what's
No,
it?
you got to go down. You've got to go down.
You got to go down.
We'll carry on without you, mate. Don't worry.
Why am I going to go down?
I don't know.
Because she's got stuff for you.
Okay.
That's Kev's sister
Yeah.
delivering something.
Kev's got a very nice. Well, he's got 5 sisters. They're all older than him, I think, but they look after him. They need to, don't they? Really, can't you tell? They do some shopping for him. So I think that's bringing his weekly rations. Anyway.
Oh yeah. So
we never really did discover whether that catacomb existed.
Well, this pub I will tell you about. The three bells, north of England and all that, and because I've considered to be very haunted, very very old pub, and it's at the top of this hill, and the story goes that one time the landlord was down in the cellar. He was changing the barrels, or whatever they did down there. Whatever he was doing down the cellar, doesn't matter, does it? And started to hear this racket, and really loud banging all the time. And then suddenly, through the wall, waist height, came an entire fucking Roman legion marching along, but they were all up to their waists. It's only their torsos up, and all the paraphernalia, all that came through. And of course, they go, well, why were they up to their waist? And they dug down. It was a Roman road.
Wow.
There's a Roman road underneath there.
Underneath.
Yeah. So it was at the depth that they were up to. Yeah, but because he was pinned there, it's this whole thing just one march through. Yeah, that's whether that's true or not, I don't know. Somebody tell me. 3 bells. Middleton.
Middleton? What? Lancashire?
Yeah.
Why don't I know that? I lived in Middleton.
Huh?
I lived in Middleton for a year.
Well,
2
you
years.
must have known the 3 bells then, I
3
think.
bells. It should have been the 7 bells.
Might have been the 7 bells. Top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7
I know
bells. There
it.
you go.
Can you believe that? No, but I have had a couple of really scary experiences with ghosts, for want of a better expression. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you 2 examples. A mate of mine bought himself a new house in a place called Barton under Needwood. And we said, come over and have a pint and I'll show him a new house. Yeah, go on then. So me and Sue went along. And it's a really old house, seriously old house. Very nice, been done up, looking really nice. Anyway, we went in, downstairs, fine, lovely, not a problem, diddler. He says, do you want to look upstairs? Yeah, I'll look upstairs. So we walk down we're walking all along this corridor upstairs. Sue has a look in a bedroom over here, and I opened this door to have a look in this room over here. I took one step inside, and my pulse went up from the normal 65 to about 200 of its own accord, right? And the hairs here prickled like shit. And I went breathless, nearly fainted. I had to run out and go and sit in the bathroom to get my breath back.
Right.
And he said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" I said, "You got a fucking ghost." I said, there was a presence in that room, and it wasn't a nice one. It was a terrifying one. I said, I don't know what, but it's happened to me. It's happened to me more than once. And in fact, the second time, I had some corroboration. I was shooting a film. I use the word film loosely, right? And it was in a castle in Essex. Castle/stately home, right? And we shot. There were 2 incidents. We were shooting in this kind of main hall, and I said to the director, I said, "Look, I need a week." And I popped to the loos. Where are they? Oh yeah, they're just over there, right out the door to the left. So I go out, and these for a castle. I mean, these loos were quite big, like a public toilet would be. So I went in because I was only needed a week, so it was a stand-up job. And as I went in, I thought, didn't see anybody else come out to the toilet. But I just felt as though there was somebody in one of the stalls, And then I thought, no, there's nobody. So I was gone, I was out, Anyway, I said to the, a few minutes later, we had a break in play, and the owner of the castle, Lord, whatever his name was there, said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "You got any history of ghosts in this place?" He went, "Well, ho, diddle, there's supposed to be a lady in grey." I said, "But it's all nonsense, isn't it?" I said, "All right, you think so." Anyway, so no more was said. A few hours later, we're outdoors. We're shooting outdoors at the front of this castle. My daughter, who was in it with me, was being filmed there, and I was standing behind the camera because I wasn't needed for this particular scene. And so they're all getting ready, and I looked up. I thought, I don't think she's supposed to be there. Oh, never mind. So we shoot, and after about 10 seconds, the director says, "Cut." We'll have to do that again because there's some spectator in that window up there. And he saw it as well, right? And the Lord said, "There's nobody in the house."
It's one of them.
And the person was in grey. She was in grey.
And he said...
when they checked back, they couldn't see it on the film.
Mm.
Anyway, later that afternoon, we were doing another scene in like an old barn. you've got to go upstairs at one of these spiral staircases, so it's quite hard work to go up. So we go up to this room. I've got Nikki behind me now. It's my daughter. She's behind me. And we take 2 strides into this room, which is like an ante-room before the main upstairs where the shot's happening. And I got that thing again, that pulse up to 200 for no reason, no apparent reason. I had to sit down. My daughter thought I was having a heart attack. And
What do you
she said,
were?
What's the matter? I said, I'll be all right in a minute. And the makeup artist said, you all right? I said, yeah. I said, sorry. I said, I felt the presence in that room where we're going. She went, just the one? I went, well, isn't one enough? She said, well, I can see them. There's 20 of them. I said, piss off. She said, no, I literally can't see them. And she said, and you're the first person I've ever met that's got that curse, gift, call it what you like. Anyway, so I said, look, I'll be all right in a minute. Now I know that you know everything's all right. I'll be able to go in now. Just give me a few minutes to calm down. So I got it, I sorted it, and we did the scene. Anyway, this bloody makeup artist, 10 minutes later, she told me the story later, went over and grabbed a mate of hers. I said, here, come with me. Come with me. What? I want to show you something. So she grabs a mate, okay?
Right.
And takes her to the downstairs. The girl took 4 steps up the spirals and got the same effect as me. Nearly fainted. She says, now, didn't I tell you this place was haunted? The girl was crapping herself. Honestly.
I've got one about clairvoyant. Do you want to hear about
yeah, go on.
clairvoyant?
Yeah, well, it's paranormal, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so it's
paranormal,
not
yeah.
all about ghosts. Paranormal's just as good.
Now this, right. All my grandparents were dead when I was born. They'd all died.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I never knew them. And when I was like 4 or 3, 4, something like that, I can remember doing this. Every kid I played with in this little cul-de-sac where I lived, they had a grandparent.
Well,
And at that sort of young age, I noticed that all these grandparents had something in common. They all had grey hair.
I can't imagine why.
So I thought, so what you do is you find someone with grey hair and you ask them if they'll be your grandparents.
I love it. So you're 3 years old. And that was your logic.
Yeah, that was my logic.
Oh,
It's
brilliant.
Perfect logic, isn't it? Perfect logic.
Yeah, brilliant.
Anyway, there was a lady that lived next door to us called Mrs. Burgess.
Oh, bless her.
And she had grey hair. So I went and I can remember knocking on her door. Right? Hang on, he's back.
Have you got your shopping, Kev? Yeah. Come on then, hurry up, because we're still fluticating. Anything for the fridge?
Yeah, he's
All right,
busy,
go on
he's
then.
busy. Here he goes.
You
look
do
at
that quietly and we'll carry on with our little chance, all right? So come on, Mrs. Burgess.
Yeah, Mrs. Burgess. So anyway, I knocked on her door and I remember looking up at her and asking her if she'll be my grandma. And she said, yeah, of course I will. You know. And she said yes. And she just a little thing to that. She always was, right through the rest of her life. She always sent me Christmas cards, birthday cards, everything.
Bless her.
And so anyway, time passes and she passes away.
Oh.
Right? Now, to get to the paranormal bit, my old man was at this woman's house, and there was a woman in the town who everyone kind of said she was a bit clairvoyant.
Yeah.
And as my old man was leaving, this woman said to him, who he'd never met, and she'd never met my old man.
Wow.
She says, because my old man's name's was. She said, I've got to stop you. I'm getting very, very confused. She said, there's a woman next to you. She's been sat next to you this whole time. She's trying to communicate with you. But what I'm confused about is she's not your mother. She's not your wife's mother. But she's saying, that she's your son's grandmother. But I don't understand how that can be. How can this person be
Yeah.
the grandmother, but neither of your
Yeah.
mothers? And that's when he told her about Mrs. Burgess. Now that, to me,
Yeah.
that means she really... Because there's no way you could come up with that.
No, not at all.
No, so she definitely
She's a
must
proper
have had
clairvoyant,
that.
isn't
Yeah,
she,
she
in
must
that case?
definitely have had
Yeah.
the gift.
Wow, that's fantastic.
There you go. Whoever you were, lady, you were right.
So, that wasn't the ghostly apparition you collected
No,
your stuff from, was it, mate?
Claire without the buoyant.
Oh, it was Claire without the buoyant, was it? Okay. I thought her name was...
Those are the jokes,
she's-
folks.
She looked great. And she's fed me with lovely meals.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. She looks
Even the
absolutely
producer's giggling. He's still
No.
giggling. Come on, show your face. Show your face.
Don't
No, he won't.
embarrass
He's
him.
giggling. I'll move the camera.
No, he want more money.
No,
I'll move the
gotta double-
camera.
No, you've got to double it.
I'll move. Get it on your phone. Get it on your phone.
Well, you missed one scary story, so I'll give you another one now, shall I?
Okay.
Ooh.
This is more of... Well,
Scary time.
this is more of a funny one than a scary one.
Okay.
Funny, scary.
We won't be
like
frightened.
Scooby-Doo.
You won't be frightened to laugh, put it that way.
Well, I think it's slightly amusing, shall we put it that way?
Don't backpedal now.
Well, whatever.
Hang on, I'll
tell
do
you
the
story,
noise.
right? I'll keep it short and sweet.
That's Pat reversing up.
We've got
Yeah.
a connection. We've got another
Heading.
connection. We've got another connection apart from the one we had just now. You and I, you came from Salford,
Uh-huh.
and I spent some time in Salford Cathedral Choir.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and we did a tour of Ireland, and on our first night we stayed in Cork, and we were staying in a kind of
Which is where my ancestors are from.
oh shush,
All right.
really, honestly,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Anyway, it was just outside Cork. I can't
Tell me
remember the
to
name.
shush.
Little village, and it was a kind of a I thought it was a boys' orphanage or a boys' boarding school or something. Anyway, so we had some like 30 choristers, and they were put up in the dormitory, and the staff and not the staff. Yeah, well, the staff was like one priest, and the male voices. There's only about a dozen of us. Were put up in like rooms, like the staff bedrooms. So I was in about the third or fourth room along, and we'd gone out. Obviously, the older ones had gone out down the local pub, had a few beers. We came back. We played some tricks on the kids, and then we went to bed. Now, over dinner, the priests that were still on site, who lived there and were running the place, regaled us with a story of a ghost they'd got. And I was 16. I got a very vivid imagination, and this ghost thing was getting at me all night while I was having this, draft of porter and stuff I was drinking, getting myself partly shit-faced. Anyway, so we play the tricks on the kids, and we go and go to our rooms. We had a room each. Anyway, so I get undressed, get into bed, and it's pitch black, and I hate, in those days, I hated sleeping in the pitch black, but nothing I can do about it. So I left my door a little way open so that a bit of light would come in. Anyway, about 10 minutes later, I heard this, hello. I thought, you get the sprinkles here? Oh, God, I went, shit, what's that? So I listened really carefully in case I was imagining it. Hello. Oh, no, I was fucking shitting myself. I thought, well, I can't lie here and not find out what that is. Not very brave, really, but I thought, fuck it. So anyway, I get up and I get to the door, and I'm like halfway down the corridor. Hello. It was coming from here. So crept along the landing, and the first door was partly open. I'm trying to rack my brains as to who's in there, right? Maybe having a laugh, taking the piss. But I wasn't sure whether it was, whether it was us or whether it was, somebody else. Anyway, very loudly, hello! I thought, so I took my courage with both hands, pushed the door open like that. This fucking old priest was lying on the floor. He'd fallen out of bed. Instead of shouting help, he was shouting, hello! Ooh, the relief on my face was measurable, honestly. But for 10 minutes, I was fucking terrified.
Come on, Kev. You must have
Me?
you must have had a nightmare or something.
Never had one.
A nightmare?
That I can remember.
You just are a nightmare, Ken, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am. Yeah. I'm probably, yeah.
Well, you must believe in... if you're a Christian, you must believe in spirits.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
I drink lots of it. Sorry about
Yes.
Kev is a strong, silent type.
that. Yeah, you got it.
Well,
It's shit for the podcast, but there you go.
Cracked in one.
well, we'll find the subject in a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
Spirits. You can talk about them for
yeah,
hours.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have a day off.
Yeah, we'll give you a day off today.
Thanks, lads.
Well, it's lucky we did because your sister came with your shopping for you, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Bless her. I've got a kind of paranormal story. But it's not really about ghosts. It's about paranormal. I think it's paranormal anyway, because there are coincidences and there are paranormals. So, talking about grandmas, my grandma, bless her. You see, this is my grandma who my mother thinks was, had a bit of this. Well, my grandma used to do the tea leaves.
Oh, yeah,
She'd
yeah.
read the tea leaves. And she was so good at it, all her neighbours would make appointments to come round and...
My grandmother apparently was a bit of a tea leaf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She got locked up for it. No, my grandma used to read the tea
Those
leaves.
are the jokes, folks.
And the only reason she quit was one day, one of her friends came round and she did the tea leaf reading and she went as pale as a ghost and shut up. And her mate said, "What? I might have this wrong, blah, blah, blah." No, what? No, I don't, she was really uncomfortable. So the woman dragged it out of her. Well, somebody felt she's going to die fairly soon. And the woman went out, and it happened. Some person who was really close to the woman actually did die. So my grandma stopped doing it. She just stopped it. That was that. Anyway, this is my grandma, bless her, lovely woman. So she used to live just down the road. And I'd pop down and see her pretty well every day, have a cup of tea and a chat, because she was on her own. And one day was a Saturday morning. Now, my grandma bet on horses every day of the week. Every day of the week, she popped down the bookies, 6pence each way, 2.5 pence each way on a collection of horses. And then she'd sit and watch them on the telly in the afternoon with the sound down. She had to have the sound down because you couldn't stand the excitement of the commentator's voice, you know what I mean? So she turned the sound down. Anyway, so I go in there. It's a Saturday morning. So, what, are you doing your horsing, Grandma? She said, "Yeah, well, it's a Grand National today. So I'm having a look at what I fancy." Anyway, she'd written 4 horses down on a bit of paper. She said, she said, "Here, take the newspaper up to your mum because she likes to flutter when it's a national." So I said, "Okay, sure." So when it was time to go, I took the paper up to mum and said, "Here, the racing page. Nan says it's a Grand National." "Oh, good, I like to back on the Grand National." "How many horses did you pick?" I said, "Should we pick 4?" "Oh, okay, I'll pick 4 as well." Anyway, Mary, my sister, comes in while mum's doing that. And Mary said, "What are you doing, Mum?" "I'm picking some horses for the National." "Oh, when you finish, give me the paper. I'll pick some as well."
Right.
"How many?" 4. Pick 4. The 3 of them picked the same fucking 4. And they came in 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Friggin' hell.
Now, obviously, they put money on, but they didn't put a huge amount because they weren't that well off. But I mean, if they'd done an accumulator or whatever they call it, forecast, they'd have made a bloody fortune of it, But I mean, that was one of the scariest things that I ever heard of.
That's amazing, that
I know.
That
I wish I'd been there. I'd have put the house on it.
Well, you would. Now you know that it happens.
Well, their house.
Wow.
No, I mean, that was...
This is not... Nothing... This didn't happen to me, but this is about a mate of mine who... now we get onto the Ouija board shit now.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. And Funny enough, it was one thing my mother was terrified of. When we moved into a house, there was one there. She took it outside. She wouldn't even put it in the bin.
Really?
She smashed it up and burnt it. Anyway,
So was your mum superstitious then?
about Ouija boards, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and ghosts and all. My dad was well into ghosts and all.
Oh,
anyway,
really? Oh,
Yeah,
excellent. Excellent.
yeah, this was about a mate of mine. And basically, 18-year-old kids and what have you, getting a bit pissed. Let's do the Ouija board. Let's have a laugh. Right. So they get this Ouija board out and they're mucking about on a Ouija board and it does all that, starts moving. They're going, oh, fuck off, you're moving it. No, I'm not moving it. Oh, you fucking are moving it. It's moving. All that kind of, well, I'm not moving it. Yeah, you're fucking moving it and all that. Anyway, then my mate, Glenn, looked across the table at his friend and like he said, about white as a sheet. His mate was as white as a sheet. And it was like, what's up? He went, it's my stereo.
Stereo?
His stereo. So what about it? So, well, the red light's on. And he went, well, yeah, it would be, because it's a standby light and all that kind of thing. He went, no, it's broke. It's not even plugged in. And they just went, let's get on the pub, lads. Let's get on the pub. Yeah, it's all bollocks, isn't it? It's all bollocks.
Yeah,
I wasn't
bloody
scared. I wasn't scared. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, just the red light came on. Look, whoa, here you go now. Let's get on the pub, lads.
Yeah. Did the girls follow him down the pub? Because it follows Kev down the pub. So he says.
The
You
what?
reckon?
I said, did the ghost follow him down the pub? Because Kev has a pet ghost that follows him down the pub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Buys
the
me
one
a
you
pint.
don't talk about.
Yeah, he buys me a pint.
Yeah,
once a week.
keeps it quiet. Yeah, but we've done the spirits joke. We can't do that one again.
No, we've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. Paranormal.
Ghosts.
I mean, when I watched these programs, I mean, I was in a program. I was in a film or television series about Houdini and Doyle, because Doyle, Conan Doyle,
Yeah.
was a great believer in the paranormal and spent the last part of his life investigating the paranormal, trying to prove that it existed. And Houdini was his mate, and he was trying to prove it wasn't.
That's
I
right.
think it was that way around.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, so the only reason I knew that story is because I was in this bloody television series with Stephen Mangan.
Yeah.
He played Doyle. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, it's some American plays Houdini, but
Yeah, because Houdini said that if it's real, he said it to his some mates or missus or something, that have is it called a seance?
yeah,
Yeah.
After he died, he said, have a seance on this date at this time, and if it's real, I will come and communicate with you.
right.
If it's real. So they did. They had the seance and everything at the exact time that he said. And no, nothing happened.
No.
Nothing happened at all.
Oh,
That
that's,
tells you, doesn't
that's
it?
a really good story. Yeah, but I mean this series that I was in. Obviously, I watched all of it, even though it was only a couple of episodes, and some of the stories were quite interesting. That the investigations of Arthur Conan Doyle that were actually disproved by Houdini. Houdini worked out how they were doing the trickery.
Yeah, I remember he discovered the table, didn't he? How it was lifted. Yeah, the old rulers up the
Yeah.
back and underneath and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it is a bit of a shame that he went down that road. But I mean, obviously, if you've got strong belief against the paranormal, then
Well, it's that thing, isn't it? If you set off to prove what you already believe, you will find the evidence to prove that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so
yes, I
if
see
he
what you
set
mean,
off
yes.
to prove that it was real,
He'd find the
he would have
evidence
found
required.
evidence to prove it was
You
real.
wouldn't find evidence. You wouldn't find evidence to prove.
Fucking
it wasn't.
profound, aren't I?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's nearly time for me to top my beer up.
Well, you got to do that, mate.
Yeah. Well, as you're not saying much, I'll go and get me a beer.
I'll go and get you a
You're
beer,
a
yeah.
good man.
Because I'm having a tea break at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, a beer break.
Well, get one yourself. On me. No, I am fascinated by the paranormal. I mean, if you kind of are basically religious and you believe in, a sort of a hereafter or a supreme being or whatever, sometimes it's hard to believe it, because when you look at what is real in terms of like the universe,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's
Well, it's a big place, isn't it?
well, I know. And then you get people like Brian Cox talking about parallel universes. I mean, for me, that's pretty paranormal, for heaven's sake. I mean, I can go along with parallel universes because there are times when. Have you ever seen that film Sliding Doors?
Oh, yeah. That's where she misses the train.
She gets it one time,
then she misses it in the other one, yeah.
And the endings, well, the whole ending ended up the same, which was very clever of it.
Yeah.
Whoever
For
wrote
those
that.
of you that haven't seen the film, that's how it ends. Okay?
Well, I didn't tell them how it ends. I just said the outcome. Well, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's an old film. If they haven't seen it, tough shit. But that film kind of gave me a bit of an idea when I saw this program about parallel universes, because the basic premise is that if you walk out of the front door and turn left, one set of circumstances happens.
That's right, yeah.
If you turn right, a different set of circumstances happens, which is fairly obvious. But what is it that makes you do one or the other? And does the other exist as well? Because if it was an infinite universe, it would.
Yes.
Because it'd be an alter ego doing that or doing that.
But it's that thing, isn't it? There's only so many ways DNA can assemble itself. So if the universe is infinite, here we go again. Eventually, you're going to repeat.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, yeah.
So there's a universe where I'm sat with a microphone, but talking to a different bloke.
Yeah.
And then there's another universe where I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
which is this one.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, my head's just blown up.
Oh no! I mean, I
Fucking hell, 2 pats. Can you imagine that?
Oh shh! Don't! I know. Yeah.
That means you're married twice
Well, I've been married twice. First
to the
time-
same person.
Oh well, no, yeah, yeah, whatever. Yes, well, I wouldn't mind a repeat of what I've got now, but not. I won't say to her. She gets my ex-wife's watching. Bless you, darling. Hope you're doing all right.
He's giggling again. He's giggling.
I am
Come on,
seeing
show
her.
your face. Show your face.
I haven't seen her for a while. That's not a complaint, just an observation. Yeah. No, the paranormal does fascinate me, but like I said, I'll tell you what scared the death out of me. Okay, scared me to death, whatever the phrase is. I kind of got into a business. It was an entrepreneurial type business, and the organisers of it, the kind of higher ups, suggested a book list of self-improvement books, and these books were all brilliant. You know, things like the Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and think you grow rich, and all that sort of stuff.
How to play with yourself in a day and all that.
And I read all the books. Anyway, one of the books had this suggestion, and the suggestion was that I don't know whether they gave the time of day to do it or not.
Oh, it's a cup of tea.
No beer, though.
Excuse me, Kev, you went out there to get me a beer. So he goes out to get me a beer and comes back with a cup of tea for himself. Bless the boy. Anyway, this book suggested that you either sit in a quiet place or whatever and close your eyes and imagine you're sitting round a table discussing your business problem, challenge, goals, whatever. But with you are 6, 10 of people you admire.
Oh,
Okay.
right, yeah. I know the kind of
Got a
thing.
choice, mate. Which one?
Oh, come on, Ken.
Well, I'll have that one.
Come on. How many times have I drunk Stella in my life?
At least once a
At
year.
least nothing, or never, or not ever.
At least once a year.
I don't think we're allowed to mention booze, are we?
Oh, no, it's not Banksy's mild, it's some other form of mild.
Yeah.
It wasn't Ansel's. I thought it was Ansel's fucking Banksy's.
Yeah, see? Can't even get
Thank
the
you.
beer right.
Okay, doodler. So, no product placement. So anyway, I thought I'd try this. Now, the thing was, I tried it really probably the wrong time of day. I was lying in bed and I couldn't sleep very well, so I think, I'll try that experiment. I'll try that, imagining I've got people around me like, doodler. Well, so who'd you put round you? Well, Jesus, because he was quite well known and had lots of followers.
Quite well known.
And
Yeah.
so, okay, who else do we have?
God.
Well, that's a bit nebulous.
His
sorry, isn't
surname
it?
wasn't Christ, was it?
It could have been. Yeah,
Oh.
it could have been. Yeah.
I can't know him.
So, know of him, I would think.
Oh, of him,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Anyway, so
You know how Jesus got his name?
did his dad stub his toe on a rock?
Yeah, and went, Jesus Christ. Do you know what you're going to call your son? Yeah, he stubbed it.
Oh, it was the priest when he was baptising him.
No, it's
That was right. Anyway, so I surrounded myself with these
that
people.
wasn't blasphemous, was it?
Of course it was. We're all blasphemous. And I can't remember who I picked, all right? I can't remember who I picked for my 6.
12.
But,
Was
I
it
don't know. It probably wasn't 12. I couldn't think of 12. I just couldn't think of bloody 12. I could think
you
of
went,
6.
you and Jesus.
Well, I'm Napoleon. I had Napoleon because he's... Well, I mean, look, he ended up kind of being exiled and losing the war, but he was a, you know,
He did all right.
he was a driven kind of guy who had some talent, and he had a tasty piece called Josephine. So I always have my blokes with decent-looking birds.
There you go.
Anyway, I can't remember the other people. Maybe Churchill was in there. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm in this reverie, if you like, around this table, and Napoleon actually fucking spoke to me lucidly and clearly, as clear as we're speaking now. I was terrified. I was absolutely fucking terrified. So, switched off straight away. Got up, went for a piss, read a book, went back to sleep. Honestly, it was so real.
Weird.
So bloody real. I know.
What was his accent?
Well, who cares? I don't know.
Gaelic.
Yeah. So go on then, Kev.
Gaelic. It might have been Gaelic. No, it wasn't. No, he just spoke to me. I mean, he spoke to me in English, I think, anyway. But I can speak French, so I could have spoken French. It's a long time ago, I can't remember. I dismissed it from my brain because it was so bloody terrifying that my imagination can drag these people in, and then my imagination can come up with something.
That
I
scares
mean, I think that's why the book says try it, because then your subconscious gives you ideas, but you think it's coming from Napoleon or fucking Admiral Nelson or something.
Clever.
I know.
Look, go on, Kev. If you could
If I could what?
sit with several people around a table, I'm not going to ask you to do 12.
Dead ones.
You're dead people.
Yeah.
Who would you sit with?
Probably the devil
And
and some of his mates.
why?
Because I could have a good chat with them about what's going on in the real world.
And you think nobody else knows?
They don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got the devil.
That's a bit
Oh, he
scary,
knows.
isn't it? Okay, hell.
Yeah.
The devil and some of his mates. Can we quote you on that?
You can.
All right, so you have the devil. And it was me thinking he was going to say Marilyn Monroe.
Well, that's the female devil.
Went straight for the devil. Who am I going to sit with? The devil. And his little minions.
Well,
You know what? I think if that would scare me even more than fucking Napoleon.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, you might equate Napoleon and Hitler and Mussolini were all like dictators, but the others were all kind of really quite nasty. Whereas Napoleon was just a power-mad soldier that wanted to rule the world. You know, well, rule the world as he knew it. If you know what I mean. Oh shit! I'm not talking to the mic, am I?
no. But he was quite normal, really, wasn't he, then? Genius, but quite normal.
You know, it's
Let me
interesting.
tell you something. Genii, which is the plural of genius, are not normal. I'll rephrase that into the mic. Geniuses, which is called genii, really, are not normal.
Okay.
They're about 1%, maybe 2% of the population. Okay? I know that because I are one.
Okay. So 99% of people in the world are
Well,
normal.
98.
Are normal.
No, because the bottom 2% are complete imbeciles.
True.
So the in-betweenies are the in-betweenies.
Are you sure genii is the plural of genius?
Well, it's Latin, isn't it?
Because octopus,
No, that's different. That's
Everyone
Greek.
says-
No, that's Greek.
everyone says octopi.
No, it's not.
And it's not, it's octopuses.
It's true.
Pussies.
It's
Well,
good.
because so many people started saying octopi,
Yeah,
they changed it in the dictionary
yeah.
to octopi.
Yeah,
Oh,
did they? Because I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
Hey, I've just impressed him. Hey, look,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if
Come
you
on,
ho-
show your face.
And if
Show
you-
your face.
And if you were hungry, it was
Show
a
your
meat
face.
pie.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
No, the reason I use the word genii is because when I was 15, I was in an opera at school, and there were 3 spirit boys, paranormal, see, so it's relevant. to
Yeah,
the
it's relevant.
conversation.
There we
3
go.
spirit boys who guided the 2 male stars, who were called Tamino and Papageno. They guided them through their trials and tribulations, and they were called genii.
Ah,
So I assume they were geniuses because there was 3 of them, and they knew lots and lots of stuff to warn the boys about. So they managed to. So that's why I got the word genii. Now, I may be wrong.
so they weren't genies.
No.
Now then,
So there were several genies.
there were no lamps, so I assume no genies. Yeah. It's quite funny. I love stories like that. You know, the lamp and the ghost, because it's like a paranormal. It's not real. Well, my grandson's trying to, I don't know, get his head around stuff, and I was telling him a story. I don't know how it came up. I'm bringing him home from nursery, and I'm telling him a story about Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, of course, he's 2.5, right? And he doesn't know dead. He doesn't know that things die. Because my missus, his grandma, says, "Oh, that poor fly's broken. Let's put him in the bin." All right. She calls it broken. Right. It's just to soften the blow, if you like. So here's me. I start to tell the story of the Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm getting towards the end, thinking, "Fuck." The giant falls down the bloody beanstalk and he kills himself. I'm gonna go. So I'm telling the story, racking my brains, what kind of ending can I put in there? So I said, and also, of course, Jack nicks the gold. Jack steals up fucking gold off the giant.
Yeah, Jack's actually the nasty
he's a
one.
bit of a baddie.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say borrows the gold because his mummy's got no money. As I'm going, I think on my feet, you know.
Ask for a loan
I know, yeah. So
from the
anyway,
giant bank manager.
so Jack
In the sky.
runs off and scrambles down the beanstalk and the giant. Well, the giant doesn't know how to climb down the beanstalk, so he couldn't come down. So he was stuck up there, and then Jack chopped the beanstalk down, so the giant had to stay up in his castle. Fairy tales a la PKJ.
Yeah.
So his beans got stalked then.
Yes, Kev. He is trying.
Very.
For want of.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think we're doing quite well. Because I didn't think we'd get to talk for this long. However long this.
Well, I haven't.
No, well, you have to go and get your shopping, didn't you, off your lovely sister?
I
Bless
did,
her.
yeah. True.
Yeah.
Get your shopping, your cup of tea.
Yep.
You go busy, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I hope she's brought some stuff we can have for our lunch. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm bloody
she
starving.
has.
Oh, good. What's she got?
I've no idea. It's in the, it's in the kitchen, mate.
Well, how do you know it's suitable?
We can eat. If we're hungry, we eat, don't we?
I suppose there's a great degree of logic in that one, isn't it? Yeah. So no more paranormal stories then for me. No more ghost stories.
Oh, don't know. Yeah. Don't know. How much longer we got to do on it anyway?
5 minutes. Okay. Oh God, how did I find that out?
No rush then.
Oh.
This number appeared
You
in my
got
head out of
told.
nowhere. Yes.
What about moving objects around the room with your eyes? And all
Oh,
that
teleportation.
Yeah, I've never done it. Never seen-
Kinetic. Is it called kinetic?
Oh, I tell you what, I actually did see a hypnotist. That'll do, won't it? It's not paranormal.
close.
It'll do.
Well, it's
I
not normal.
saw a hypnotist
Norman.
get exposed as a con,
Really?
and it was brilliant. You know when they say we'll take you back into a past life.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets all these volunteers up from the audience, right? I'll just have a
mouthful of tea.
I'll have a mouthful
Mouthful
of tea.
A mug for a mug.
And
So
anyway.
I coloured water.
so all these random people that have been selected that he doesn't know come up, and he hypnotises them, and they all go back into past lives and all that lot. And it's funny, isn't it, how they all end up being in Devon. You know, it's like-
Devon, is that a misspelling of heaven?
Yeah. There you go. I'm Via. Oh yeah, I be a farmer's daughter from and all that. They've gone back in there. Anyway, this girl's going. She's 17, 55, and she's this young girl and
Wench.
all that lot. Yeah, all that lot. And I said, so, do any of you have any questions for? And there was like 6 or 7 of them, but there was this girl, the girl I remembered her. So you got any questions for any of them? And this girl's talking, and then this bloke put his hand up and he asked, what a fantastic question. He said, who's on the throne? And this girl just went absolutely quiet.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, you. And this girl just went, that's all.
Back to sleep.
Couldn't.
How? Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, and
That's
then
really
this
good.
hypnotist is going, oh, sometimes when you're in you don't know who's on the throne and all that. Like,
Load of
and
absolute shit.
Yeah.
So she was a plant.
must have been a plant.
and
Yeah.
Probably all were, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe in regression, but I'm not sure about the regression into a previous life. You know, the reincarnation thing.
Well,
That's, I mean, it's come up on the news maybe a few times, like certain religions believe in it. And my missus says, well, I hope it's not true. What do you mean? Reincarnation? Well, why? She says, well, I don't want to come back as a cat. I felt like saying, no, darling, you're enough of one now. But I didn't.
Yeah.
No, darling, don't worry. You'll come back as a bitch. Oh, you still are one.
Oh, I've got one of those things about reincarnation.
Oh, good.
Where this woman, I think maybe she was hypnotised, I don't know. But she told this thing again. I think it was somewhere, again, I think in Middleton again, where she talked about being a maid in this building, like an old mansion.
Yeah.
And she said, when you walked in through the door, Cross Keys. There's a place called Cross Keys.
In Wales?
No, I think it's in Manchester.
There was one in Erdington.
Anyway, it's a
Oh, you
place
mean the
called-
pub?
No, might be. I don't know. Anyway,
Excuse me, he's talking about a fucking pub in Erdington, which ain't
No.
there anymore.
it ain't. There. Anyway, she talked about working in this mansion, and she had to clean the floor, and in the floor were these 2 keys that were crossed, and she used to clean them. So anyway, they went, well, that building's still there. But there's no cross keys. No cross keys at all.
Wow.
It's a lovely mosaic floor. And
Was it in St. Peter's Church?
I don't know. I don't know the whole thing.
All right.
And anyway, so she said, yeah, that's the building. But yeah, no cross key. No cross keys there. It was only when they were renovating the place, and they had to clear the floor out. And there was no records of it, but there they were, the cross keys that she said she used to clean. And no, there was no records of them in books or photographs or anything, which she knew that they were there. There you go, innit?
That's
So
amazing.
that's like she regressed.
So she must, yeah,
To
she said,
remember it,
yeah, she remembered it. If anybody knows the full story about that, get in touch.
Now, the reason I asked about St. Peter's is I think that cross keys is the symbol for St. Peter. I think it's his kind of
Oh, is it?
calling card. I think so, yeah.
Was St. Peter like the first pope?
Yeah.
Ah.
There, the rock.
Did they have keys then?
One of the apostles.
Yeah.
How do you suppose they locked doors?
With a bolt?
I would think they probably had keys.
When did they have keys? When were keys?
We'll look it up in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
When keys came out.
We'll have a little break, yeah.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, somebody look up.
Yeah.
When were keys done? Here we go. He's doing it. He's going to say it. He's
Yeah.
going to say it, so we'll
No,
hear
he
him.
won't.
We'll hear him.
No, we don't let him in. We want more money.
Yeah, he will.
Not allowed.
When were keys invented?
Discovered, created. Yeah. I think we've done.
4,000 years ago,
4,000 years ago. 4,000?
ancient Egyptian society.
Oh, right.
So there you are.
Invented
So
the
there
key.
Would have been keys. There
So
would
it's
have been
before
keys.
St. Peter then, yeah.
2,000 years before him. Yeah.
So, all right then.
Yeah,
so
I
we're
think
done.
I think we've
We're done
exhausted
on
that
the
one.
paranormal.
Yeah, well,
And we will check on by the St.
All right
Peter's
then,
symbols,
folks.
see if
It's
I can do it
bye
right.
from the Northern Boys.
Yeah.
All right.
If you have any issues from this podcast, please do get in touch.
yeah.
We have consultant psychiatrists as best friends,
Yeah.
and they'll work with you for a small fee.
Boo.